Hi everybody and welcome back. Alright, a bit of a big lesson last lesson, getting our elevator working, but well worth it. And in this lesson we're going to set up our gameplay area with our tile grid. So we'll come up into Explorer window and we're going to shift our elevator or lift right over out of the gameplay area. And we're going to set up our tile grid above this green base that we've got here. Now, just like we did with the lift in terms of creating a tag script, we're going to do the same thing with our tile because we're going to have many more tiles in the game than we will lifts, and we don't want to have 25 or 60 or 100 single scripts all running in parts. It's not very economical. So come to your tile part in the Explorer window and click on the tile script, then right click and cut that script, then left click on server script service and we will paste it inside. Alright, we'll come back to fixing up this as a tag script shortly, but right now we're going to create our gameplay area. So we've got our lone tile sitting here and we're going to right click on our tile and come up to group as model, and we'll call this model all tiles. Let's try to spell that correctly. All tiles. Okay, so all of our tiles will be inside of this model. Now we've got this tile part and it is, and you should check that it is down in the size. Where's our size? We're on the model there, sorry. Down in the size, it's 8 by 0.5 by 8 studs. And we are going to position these 5 studs apart. So if we take 8 and we were to move it across 8, then we really need to move each tile across 13 to have them 5 studs apart. So click on the model tab up the top and then the move, set that to true and change the number of studs to 13. And then we will right click on the tile part and duplicate and then drag it to the right and it should be exactly 5 studs away. And now we're going to duplicate this again another 3 times, so we'll have a row of 5. So we've got 5 tiles across, and now we have this one row. We're going to create 5 rows down this way. So click on the first tile and then hold down shift and click the last one to select them all, and then in the blue area right click and duplicate and then just push it forward. Alright, and we can do that another 3 times. So right click and duplicate and push it forward. Alright, I'll just move my camera up a bit. Right click, duplicate and push it forward, and right click, duplicate and push it forward. Right, and now we have a tile grid of 5 by 5 tiles. So you can come up and collapse the model and click on it to maneuver it, turn off the move up here so we can finally move it, but move it into the middle sort of this area. So if you get your camera and come up above, you can roughly put it where you think it is in the middle. Alright, if this area is not big enough, it just click on your game base and just stretch it out a bit till we've got plenty of room to work with and run our game. Alright, and I might even move my spawn point there over to the corner over here somewhere out of the way. Alright, once we have our tile grid there, we want to move all of our tiles up by 20 to match the top of the elevator. So click on the first tile and then scroll down to the bottom, left click or hold down shift and click the last one, so we've got them all selected, and we can turn in our move and we will move this up 20 studs straight up in the air as such. Alright, and we have positioned all of our tiles. Now, if you didn't check that they were anchored, which they should have been, they'll all fall on the ground, so you'll need to anchor those. Alright, we have our tiles ready to go. Now we need to adjust our tile script. So come down in Server Script Service and open up our tile script. And I'll just close these other windows. Right, so we've got all the workings in here that we need, but now we need to turn it into a tagged script like we did earlier. So to do that, we'll come up to the top. We'll leave fun mod at the very top. It's always good to leave anything that's required as the first line. And just below this, create a variable for the collection service. So game, get service, collection service. And now we'll need to create a tag. Excuse me. Now we'll need to create a tag for all of our parts. So I'll bring up my Explorer window here, and we'll expose all of our tiles there in the Explorer window. Come up to plugins, and we're going to open our tag window, and we'll create a new tag, and this one will be all tiles. So enter, and then we will click on the first one, hold down shift and click the last one, and then in the checkbox to tag them all. Right, so if you've got the blue tick, close the window, and we'll come back to our tile script. And now we'll say local tagged parts will equal collection service and get tagged, and add our tag, so all tiles. Okay, so now we're working with our table of tiles. We don't actually need this variable for the tile as an individual here. So we'll get rid of that, delete it out, and above the DB, so leave it where it is, we'll create our loop. So for space underscore, okay, TP in pairs, tagged parts, do. So we've got an end here, and we want to take that end, so either delete it or cut it, and then scroll right down till you've got all of your code, including this last end there, inside of that. Alright, and then if you want to straighten your code up above here, if you're on the script tab, format selection, and you can say format document, and it will straighten everything up correctly for you. Alright, so now we have a couple of problems in here, in the fact that we have this variable here that all through the script that's consistent, that says tile, but we want to change it to TP. So if you double click on tile and then hit Command or Control F, this little window will come up over here with these double arrows. So click on those, and we're going to replace tile with TP. And once you've got that in there, over on the right there's a little magnifying glass, replace all, and left click on that, and you should see that all of the tiles have been replaced with TP. So we have corrected that script very easily. Now there's one other thing that we need to do before we can test this out, and you'll need to open up your fun mod. So open up the functions mod, we can close our tile script there, and we want to come down to where we are changing our tiles. So I'll just minimize these other functions that we have in here. So you'll see in our change tiles function we're just using one tile, so now we need to change this to be all tiles. So we'll delete this line here, and we'll say all tiles equals workspace dot all tiles, and then get children to get a table of all the tiles. And below this we'll create a for loop, so for I equals 1 for however many tiles there are. Right, do. And we just want to move the next two lines in here, so take these two lines and cut them and just put them inside of our loop, and we just need to change this single tile now to look at each tile. So all tiles I dot brick color, and that will run as normal. Alright, and that's the only change that we should need to make. So let's close that down now, and we'll open up our output window, give it a save, and we'll play. Right, so if all went well, if you look up above you, you should have a 5x5 tile grid, and if you watch closely, all of the colors should be changing every, I think it's 5 seconds we put in there at the moment, to random different colors, and that's all running off the one script, which is pretty cool. Alright, so very economical way of running code, and very powerful script. And there's our lift going up and down, which we're going to move on to in the next couple of lessons, trying to get everything working together. Alright, so we can stop our game there, and we'll increase our version to 1, and we're good to go for the next lesson. So I will see you there.